Warning. The following stream contains references to graphic violence, sexual themes, and coarse language, and is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, and welcome to Crimson Conquest Secrets of the Blood-Right Bastion. I am your humble dungeon daddy, Drew. This is the beautiful cast. Look at them all. Oh my god, they're all vampiric. They got some fangs and teeth and faces and stuff. If you missed last week, you should probably go watch that, because ooh-wee, if you got daddy issues, that's the episode for you. We got some inspirations last week. Who's ready for this? Jane, you got 7 inspirations. Jakey, you got 2. Ren, you got 3. Caitlin, you got 2. Ian, you got 3. I got 1. And the adventuring group, Drawing a Blank, also got 1 inspiration.
Kill them.
That was Nightmares. That was Nightmares crew. That was the name of your group.
Oh, I'm aware.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Sorry.
know, I forgot. I forgot. I wasn't
Did I stutter?
drawing a blank.
Kill him.
I was like, who the fuck?
They might all be dead anyway. Who knows? We'll find out on season 2.
Look, the most important party member did die, and I just want to say Gungus Peter. Gone too soon.
Gone but not forgotten. We don't have anything to shill, so let's go ahead and roll for recap. Woohoo! Yahoo!
Wait, am I allowed to? Can I show a thing? Or no, wait, no, never mind.
You can show a thing. Show the thing.
Can I show not the thing, but the thing that would fit?
I'll just blur it if it's bad.
No, it's not. It's not a bad thing. It's that Ren, have you gotten a package yet?
Mm-mm.
No,
Okay.
it's probably still in the United States, where it will remain for all eternity.
I mean, if you'll want to do show and tell, I'm totally fine with that. I'll just be,
Sad.
going being sad forever.
I put my thing down somewhere. I was just gonna show what I was rolling with. But it's okay. It's okay.
But not today. Okay. I rolled a 15.
16. I got a 13.
Please don't tell me.
Oh, thank God.
Wow.
Jane, what'd you get?
Got a 6.
Come here, I got a 4.
Ah, the fear in Jane's face.
Jane's like,
I was gonna say last week with my nat 1 and then Jane with a 4 last week. Jane, you are careful, Icarus.
flying so close to the sun with that one.
It will be a 1 next week, I promise.
So wax wings ourselves.
Oh, all right. What happened last session? Boy, howdy, let me tell you, I barely fucking remember, but we're gonna do it anyway. This is a problem. I don't edit the episodes anymore, so I don't watch them nearly as much. And I didn't get to watch live because I was busy. God damn, I'm gonna disadvantage this week. Okay, so the group wake up. Jane gets hit in the face with a microphone. I turn up late. It's a whole thing. Nobody acknowledges it. It's wild.
Our diva-sode.
We keep going. We get ambushed by none other than Maeve. What the fuck? Holy ha-cha-cha. Ian manages to avoid getting bitten in the neck. Great time.
Ryuss.
Nope, it was Ian. I'm telling you now.
Ian, look out! No.
Caitlin, run!
Changes in the walls. No, you are correct. Ryuss avoids getting bit in the neck. It's all good. Everyone kind of goes, oh shit, we gotta fucking fix this situation. Astrofel definitely remembers having something in their bag that belonged to Maeve. Spoiler alert. I did not remember this. Thank you, Drew, for the reminder.
Mm-hmm.
And we managed to gentle parenting, subdue Maeve, and be like, "Oh, shiny!" And Maeve sees it and has a emotional, nostalgic moment and starts crying. And we give her a little hug, and we talk it out. And Maeve becomes less feral, and everything's fine for 5 minutes. Hello, John. Jonathan the Kobold is also here.
Hello.
And and then we kind of talk shit out a little bit, and everything's cool and chill for a hot second, and then wait, who's that over there? Some random tiefling guy who looks a lot like Sweet Bean Morgred. What the fuck? And he's like, hey, aren't you gonna introduce me to your friends? And it's like, who the fuck are you? And he's like, hey, I'm your dad. What? No, not acceptable. You're a dick. Turns out he is a dick. We were right. And we were like, is this a court mandated thing? And he's like, no, it totally is. Anyway, he turns out he's got like 156 kids, and that's just irresponsible practices, because also he's an incubus. So extremely irresponsible practices for work. Let me just tell you, not impressed. And then Morgan's like, nah, fuck you. I don't want anything to do with you. You didn't even think of me first. I was third on your list. Fuck you, guy. You should have been here fucking 20 years ago. Get wrecked. And we walk away. And then Ryuss is like, hold up. I'm gonna need a second. And just eviscerates this man. And it's beautiful. And we all love Ryuss. I mean, we did before, but now we love Ryuss extra, you know? Get a little extra piece of the pie for Ryuss. Anyway, we all start going, and we've got our girls back. We're like, fuck that guy. He's a loser. We don't want anything to do with him. And Morgan's like, but wait. And we're like, okay, we're listening. Whatever you want, Queen. Honestly, you could say I need to step on your necks, and we would let you. Straight up. Just
not
do
related
it.
to
Anyway.
this. Just
Yeah, unrelated to this. And then Morgan's like, well, okay, maybe I need to have that conversation. Maybe I need to do this. So we get him back, and Morgan's like, I'm gonna fight you, and he's like, all right, you can. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight you back. And Morgan's like, okay, and shoots him in the foot. And this is the best thing, straight up, hands down, the best thing. He doesn't react. He's like, whatever. Also, he's got this intern with him who's like writing his biography, and she's unironically one of the coolest characters because she just don't give a fuck about what's going on. She's like, yeah, whatever. It's very much giving student who's like being paid enough to eat nothing, like to not have to eat ramen every day, and is like, I don't really enjoy this job, but it's a living. And yeah, and then Morgan's like, well, it's not fun if you're not gonna fight back, and then punches him in the face. Incredible, Queen. And then he's like, hey, let's have an honest conversation for 5 minutes. So that was nice, I guess. He doesn't get fucking brownie points for it, though, because he's still a deadbeat dad. Anyway, we may have discovered that everyone in the Discord has daddy issues, and I mean specifically the players, not the characters. Anyway, then we kind of chat with him and point out that he's shit, and Morgan's like, yeah, like, don't expect anything from me. Fuck you. And he's like, yeah, fair enough. And she's like, I want presents, though. And he's like, I will send you a magical item every week until I get fucking arrested by Mephistopheles. Because that's going to happen. Because, oh, yeah, he summoned her mum to the spot, which was super awkward because I thought this guy was a dick. Oh, boy, howdy. She said something that is burned into my soul. And if I ever met this woman, like, I know she's fictional, but if I ever met her, I would beat the shit out of her. Like, straight up, no hesitation. On site. Not even on site. I would be like, where is she? I don't even see her. I'm gonna fucking murder her, right? Anyway, and then she vanished. We don't give a fuck, because Morgan managed to get a couple of slaps in. Love that for Morgan. Yeah, and then this guy's like, yeah, I get, I'm rich. I can help with things. I can send you to places. And Astrofel's like, oh, hey, if you're super powerful and all this shit, can you scry on blood? Hands him the flute. He scries on the blood. Whoever's blood, bear in mind, remember viewers, this is the blood of the person who murdered Astrofel, and is technically their sire. It's a bit of an issue. So he's like, whoever's blood this is, they're wearing one of those amulets that we've all got. And I'm like, well, okay, everyone's got one of these, because they're clearly a dime a dozen. And he's like, but I can hear voices, and I can tell that there's, like, trucks and stuff, wagons, not trucks don't exist, wagons and stuff, and there's a female voice. Yeah, there's just like, breaker. And And there's a convoy happening. It's a whole thing. There's a female voice talking, and there's other people talking, and it's definitely like a trading situation happening. And we were all like, "Oh, well, we know what the fuck's going on." And Astrophel was like, "Excuse me a minute," and then went and punched another tree, and may have lost some hit points because that's what happens when he punches trees. And then he came back and was like, "I'm fine." He was not fine. Anyway. Then we were like, okay, what are we doing now? Like, for real though, what are we doing? And we were like, we're gonna go to the Sanctum Sanctorum. And Morgan's dad is like, don't do that. They're a bunch of wankers. And we're like, all right, let's not do that then. Let's believe this man that we've known for 5 seconds. And then we were like, we should probably have a conversation about this. And Drew went, yeah, you probably should when Jakey's back. Because Bit was asleep for most of this. Anyway, that's what you missed on Dungeons and Dragons.
There you go. There's an inspiration for you. That's perfect.
Thank you.
There's only one little thing. Someone else was also reintroduced to the group. Who was it?
Mick.
There you go. Another inspiration. Good job.
Boom.
2 inspos right off the rip. All
Yeah,
right.
Mick turned up, and Mick was like, you won't fucking believe what I've seen. And Jonathan the Kobold was like, buddy, trust me, I've seen some shit. And then they had kind of a seen some shit off. But there were no winners, only losers. Anyway.
It's a classic kobold shit off. We've all
We've
seen
all
some
been
shit
there.
off.
We've all
That
been
might
there.
be different.
Well, all right, party. You've found yourself in the presence of Raz and Sarenth. Raz has offered to take you all wherever you want to go, as long as it isn't the Abyss, the Nine Hells, or any of the other very dangerous planes of existence, because now he's got a daughter to kind of look after.
So generally, the material plane is essentially the safest.
You got the material plane, probably the Underdark Feywild, and that's the inner planes, pretty much. Not really so much on the outer planes.
There's a really big snot bubble on Bit that just pops and he just kind of goes, nah, I've been listening.
Hey, buddy.
Hello.
How you feeling?
Good. Actually, I was listening to some things. I don't miss anything.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, how's it
Do
go?
Do
Who's
you
that?
remember? There we go. I was about to say, do you remember this guy's name? Nope.
He looks like he smells like the bottom of a bottle of scotch.
That would be my dad.
Raz
My dad.
Raz is currently over talking to Sarenth.
Do we like him?
We're tolerating him for the sake of
Why?
Morgard. For Morgard. Morgarid.
Morgard! It's Morgred's Viking name. Morgard.
So, we're tolerating them for Morgrid. Morgrid, how do you feel about Raz? Is that their name?
Yeah.
What a stupid name.
Disappointed is an understatement. But we could kind of use his help right now, and that's why we're tolerating him, I suppose. He said he can take us anywhere we want to go. That's kind of what I'm concerned about right now.
Could he take us somewhere there's chicken wings? I've heard of those, and I want to try those now that I can eat things.
Most places that
Chicken wings?
are you, I mean, if most chickens will have wings, is what?
No, but there was a group of gods that said the biggest thing that they missed when they became vampires was that there were some taverns you could go. They would take wings and they would cover them in batter and then dunk them in oil, and then they would waste the rest of the chicken, and then they would put that and cover it in sauce. So it didn't really taste like meat or anything anymore. It was sauce and bones. And they said that was the biggest thing they missed. And there was like at least like, I can't count, but a lot of them that talked about them.
does this include the feathers? And is that also like does that hold the batter when they is this some?
I hope so.
We could. What places around the plane here have chickens that we can put in batter and dip into an oil? We could have. You drank all the holy oil, so we now don't have that oil to use.
Oh.
Deep frying things in holy oil. Incredible. Drew,
Uh-huh.
humor me for a minute.
Uh-huh.
Is there on any plane of existence in your world, is there a franchise of DJ Khaled's Another Wing?
Probably in Carceri.
Then that's where we're going.
Another one.
Yes, very good, very good.
Other than like, wait, is there anywhere I guess you guys want to go? Cause Ryuss, you said a few times that you want to visit your home.
Now isn't the time, I don't think. I have a few. I need to be stronger to go back there because I'm not necessarily allowed in the plane itself at the moment. I think.
Bit does that like,
I'll be strong enough for both of us.
and he pats Ryuss's cheek from the baby Bjorn still.
If I step foot in either court, well, most likely the Sealy, I would most likely be tarred and feathered, not like a chicken, but I would most likely be the equivalent of being dipped in a big old vat of acid. Maybe I actually would be battered and fried for the Sealy peoples, but I
What
I don't
did
know
you
if now's the
do?
time. So my goal is to reclaim the Feywild for the Fey peoples and not to make it some exclusivity inbreeding fuckfest. And in my attempt, very novice, very very young version of myself. Oh, so many, like a year at most ago. Couldn't have done it. And I tried. But I'll get into details eventually.
Okay.
But let's just say.
So no going to the place where you'll be hurt.
Yes.
Maeve, Astrophil, where do you guys want to go?
And what's our goal? What are we trying to achieve by going somewhere in particular at the moment? Yes, Bit.
Even though they're gone and I don't know where they are, I still would like to take over the world for my friends. Thank you.
Bit folds his hands nicely.
Itemized list, very good start. End goal. We're right now at the planning stage. We only have 3 steps yet before we get to conquer the world for our friends. All 3 of those steps are question marks. The last one, the profit there, doesn't necessarily... We don't know how to get there just yet. We just need to know how to get there.
What do you guys think?
I mean, Maeve, is there anywhere you have an interest in going in?
I think I've heard about the Moon Forge, and that seems like it would be a cool place to check out.
Ryuss taps his staff.
I mean, it sounds like it's a good shortcut to getting Ryuss power.
I also want to go to the Moon Forge. I've just never been there, and I want to see what it's like.
Very reasonable.
I see. We're going to... It's not a surprise birthday party. My birthday's not coming up. But Moon Forge?
I mean, Honestly, anywhere that's not where that convoy of carts is, I'm fine with.
Bit fell asleep. Hold on a moment.
Sorry, I think... I don't actually know this word fully, but I think I'm developing narcolepsy. Or I just have selective hearing. Or ADHD.
Pardon?
Or all of the above. What?
We were saying Moonforge.
Moonforge? Like... up there?
No,
No.
I point the exact direction that I think it would be west. It's over that way. Actually, it's on the west side, I believe, of the continent. It's on its own little island.
West side.
Oh. So we're not going to the moon.
No.
Not yet.
No, we're not going.
Not today.
I like the not yet, not today. I'm gonna take that for later, cause now I want to go to the moon. Kind of.
Which one?
Maybe.
Which moon?
Oh God. Yes.
There's three
Is that the
choices.
right answer?
First, there's
Maeve, which one's your favorite? Is it Delamiran? That's the
Yeah,
only one
that's
I can pronounce.
Yep, that's my favorite one.
The middle moon.
Because it came back.
Ah.
And if that's not a mystery, I don't know what is.
Moonforge sounds good to me, though. I just like hanging out with you guys.
Bits,
We
she's
have-
happy to be here.
we have so much
Yeah.
hanging out to do.
And making pomegranates.
Yeah, those are
Those
wild.
are really handy. Yeah.
How did that like?
Pomegranate?
Man?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Man, this pomegranate
Considering
tastes
if-
like chicken wings.
what?
Bit does the Into the Spider-Verse when he's done with the burger.
Good, Paul.
Thank you.
You have cash on you?
I've gone liquid.
Oh yeah. Also, will there be a place in Moonforge where we can spend the copious amounts of money that we have? Because we have lots of money.
It
And I
sounds
don't-
like it would be.
Okay. 'Cause I don't know what to do with all this. I've considered just throwing it at birds.
I mean, you could always try to bury it or burn it or give it all away. That is a SpongeBob quote for those who are uninitiated. But I think there should be means to bury it, burn it, or give it all away at the Moonforge. I mean, I've heard that it's large enough. I mean, I feel like civilization is a big word to use, but we have an inn.
This is
So
true.
Raz will just take us anywhere we want to go.
That's what he says. I don't really know if I fully trust it, but
Hmm.
he says he can. So
And why is he doing this?
I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. But here's his explanation. Suddenly, after multiple decades of knowing I exist, he wants to make it up to me. So he's swooped in to help me and my friends pursue our dreams. I know. This look you're giving me, it all sounds very suspicious and we think it was a court mandate. I don't know. We're not entirely sure. But he is trying to prove himself to me. So I don't think that he'd do anything, at this point. Make me upset. I don't know. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? What are your thoughts?
I think Bit kind of sits there and is looking at Morgred and like kind of does the rubber duck thing for a bit and just lets Morgred like essentially whatever Morgred's thinking and just like project their thoughts off of Bit. And Bit doesn't really say anything, just keeps giving Morgred like different expressions and just like keeps leaning in.
I love this entire time I've got my back to the group whilst Bit is in the baby Bjorn having this conversation. I'm just there like.
You have a copious view of his ass, so I mean, of Raz's ass. So I mean, this is the time to look.
It's a nice ass.
Yeah, it's all right.
Well.
Look, I'm a single dad. I'm allowed some vices, okay?
As the child, in the back, Bit kind of.
I mean, I guess I hope, and maybe this is because I don't really get the whole having parents thing, but if someone did something really mean to me and they started offering nice things out of nowhere, I'd try and be careful, I guess. And Mulgrew, this isn't a dig on me. I know you're smarter than I am, and you get people better than I do.
As Bit just kind of does like the Stitch thing where his tongue goes up his nose a little bit.
But I would say just, let him do nice things as long as you're safe and okay with everything he's doing. Does that make sense?
Yes, what you're saying makes sense. And even though I don't trust him, for some reason, I trust that he wants to do the right thing now. I don't know. I have a feeling.
Kind of over Bit's shoulder, I just go, don't forget, set boundaries. Don't go back on those boundaries. If he oversteps those boundaries, punch him in the face or shoot him in the foot again. And if he keeps giving you nice things, that's love bombing, and that's technically a form of abuse.
You guys know it doesn't take much to make me punch someone in the face, so
It's a
I
great
don't think
pastime.
we're in any
Honestly,
fear
I'm
of-
genuinely surprised you haven't punched me in the face.
He likes
close.
you.
Fair enough.
Bit just goes, I'll do it. I just want to hit something, though. Not because I want to hit you. I just like hitting things. Except I don't like watching you hit things. No offense, it's kind of sad.
I'm aware, I say, still nursing my hand and lighting another cigarette. Where did I get these cigarettes? We don't know.
Just gotta roll them up.
They just appeared in the baby Bjorn.
Roll them up, you said? 15 cigarettes. I hate it.
Not even a full pack.
They're just some forest herbs. It's no biggie.
close.
I have 11 cigarettes.
Incredible.
Use them wisely.
As you are all deciding, Rez starts walking back over. As he does, he's looking over.
Hi, Ryan.
Hello. I heard you like chickens. As he takes his hand and goes, an abyssal chicken appears in his hand. He says, they're a little scary looking, but, and breaks its neck. It's very tasty. And I heard you wanted some chicken wings.
Astrophel, is this love bombing?
Kind of a little bit, actually. Because he was listening in on the conversation. Like, yeah, we weren't quiet, but he was...
He looks over. He's like, I was 10 feet away talking to Sarenth. It's kind of hard not to hear what you were saying.
Yes, but you're intentionally using that information to try and gain favor with someone in this party who you haven't interacted with yet.
It's fine if you don't want it. Chicken disappears. Just,
So you just like dropped a dead chicken back in its plane?
well, since it's an infernal creature, it was killed on the material plane. It comes back to life in the Nine Hells, so it's still.
But it
alive.
won't be a chicken. It'll be the next step down.
Well, maybe it shouldn't have been a chicken. I don't know. Anyways, kiddos, where are we going?
Moonforge?
Moonforge.
Forge.
Looks over a bit.
Wait, what does my vote matter? I'm just following them around.
Everyone said Moonforge.
Just say Moonforge.
Moonforge, and not the moon.
Fair. He takes his nail and pricks the center of his palm. You see this single fleck of gold blood drip down the middle as he flicks it into the air. It kind of flings out through the air and stops almost as if it hit like this invisible wall as this portal with very celestial like light and runes come off of it. Just right through there. I can't go there. Moonforge doesn't allow my types in there, but it should be the city of Bismuth, which is just north of the Moonforge.
Getting down to Bismuth.
Half a second, Jakey. Half a second.
My brain went to a classic Disney. I don't want to elaborate further. Let's get down to Bismuth.
Yeah. Half a second, Ian. Half a second. Come
yeah,
on.
Yeah, this is it.
One brain cell between this entire cast. And it's working overtime.
It moves fast.
Bit slips from the little Bjorn, kind of waddles over, like inspects the portal. Looks at Raz. Looks at the portal.
So my friends told me why, but why are you doing nice things?
I've made
Use
a lot
simple words.
I've made a lot of mistakes, and I wish to rectify them.
Yeah, rectify.
And to show no ill will, Sarenth, go do it. Sarenth walks over, walks into the portal, walks back out of the portal. Holds up her hands. I'm fine.
Can we have some money before we go?
He checks on his sides. He's like, I didn't bring any money. What kind of money do they use here again?
Gold pieces and silver pieces and copper pieces and
Electrum.
If you give us Electrum, I'm telling you right now, I will leave the campaign, and that is not a threat.
and not electrum and what's the last one? It starts with a P.
Platinum?
What Astrophel said.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Raz disappears from sight. Sarenth's just kind of standing there, just twiddling her thumbs for the moment.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah.
He disappeared.
By all means, if you want to leave.
Are we just leaving with none of these gone?
That was the joke. I don't mean it. I'm not gonna walk in until he's back.
Unless.
A few moments pass. You see he's got a silver tray. On top of it, there are 17 platinum bars.
As for money, not chocolate.
No, this works.
What?
You remember I said one of the options was platinum.
Oh.
That's
This is
it.
a platinum piece?
Bit picks it up. Bit being very strong, it's like, he's just kind of holding.
How would I hand this to somebody if I'm buying something?
So
Like a gold piece is this big. What?
Yes, platinum is generally more valuable, and just imagine like this is a stick of butter that you're going to be slicing into little coins. That amount of coins is in here, or it could even be more valuable because it doesn't need to be coins. There could be different markets for full bars of platinum. This is, I look over at Raz and I say, That's a move. All right.
So
I
it's
look
like
at
a
everybody.
stick of butter?
It's in form, not necessarily in practice. Don't eat it. It's gonna hurt your teeth.
If anyone asks where it came from, you don't know.
You're right, I don't.
And Bit
Yeah,
just
we
like
have no
puts them
idea.
all in his arms, and just like puts it in his bag.
Unless somebody else wants to carry these. Altogether, they're a little heavy.
Boom! Drops it on the ground. His
I
bag
have,
just full of dust.
I have somewhere we might be able to keep a large store of platinum pieces.
Just
And
just a little out of character note. If they're standard sized bars, we're looking at 500 gold pieces per bar.
Oh wow.
Moolah.
Thank you, Reddit, for
Moolah.
having done the maths for me already.
Moolah.
it's
Reddit,
fantastic.
a place you kinda don't maybe want to go, but do.
The new Google for answers.
Not a
Yeah, Bit can
sponsor.
carry something like 4,000 pounds worth of stuff, so Bit's not too concerned with the
So-
thing, but also goes to the Morgan and goes,
If you want, if you have somewhere you want to keep them and stuff.
Yep, I will. I have a safe place for them, and I'll take them and put them in the safe place. Thank you. And Morgan just like goes behind a tree really quick, and then comes back out without the platinum pieces.
Can I hold on to one? I like throwing
I have
coins
to
at
go
birds,
back
and I
and
just
get
think
it
it'd be really funny. Oh, sorry.
I have to go back and get it now. I'll get it for you though. Morgan goes
Can
back
I?
behind the tree, and comes back out holding one platinum piece. Here you go.
Woo! Wow.
Drew,
Uh-huh.
is it an insight or a perception check to see if Morgard's now walking funny?
Perception. Perception through and through.
I just want to see if they're in the old prison wallet, you know?
A stab
That's a
wound?
16. How you walking, Morgard?
My normal gait, just as strong and brisk as ever.
Damn, game recognizes game.
"Don't sneeze."
That's my favorite No Doubt song. For those who like No Doubt,
God damn it.
thank you. I'll
Very
be here
good,
for the
very
episode, at least.
You
Um,
can't promise anything after.
Technically, I could
What you mean by that?
lose my internet. I don't know. There's a lot of platinum bars we'll have. Incredible. Thank you for your storage, Morgrid. Shall we walk through the giant hole here? The temporal sphincter opened up. Shall we? Oh, don't look at me
What?
like that.
Why'd you just use the word temporal? I don't like things dunked in batter unless they're chicken wings.
As Bit walks through.
Maeve's gonna walk through.
Yeah, I mean, I will
Yeah.
follow. I will follow. Everyone's
Astrophil
going,
is the-
I'm going.
Astrophel is the living embodiment of that Ben Affleck meme where he's outside smoking. Just, and then follows.
Before everyone, after everyone walks through, Ryuss takes out a notebook, starting to cook. Temporal fried food? Save that one for the next time. Cool. And I'm through.
You all walk through. As you do, one by one exiting out of this portal. The portal closes up behind you. You find yourself in this very foggy land. Surrounded around you are very much like cedar-like trees. There are tombstones everywhere. Off in the distance, you can start seeing some buildings. Very, very hazy through the fog. But no actual people out and about.
I like to think Bit's ears are just poking through the fog.
Guys, I think... Is the Moon Forge where we go when we die?
This is where you go to die, I think.
Oh my god.
But we're not gonna die.
Oh.
Shall we make our way into, I believe, into town to get a scope of things and...
Could we go anywhere else that doesn't have tombstones? Really?
I hope so. We'll see. Maybe not.
I can knock some over if it make you feel better.
Not really.
Maeve, with your
Okay.
passive perception, you notice something, a figure darting through the fog. It seems to be around the entire group.
The fog is around the entire group.
There's
or the
a
darting
figure.
around?
There's a figure in the fog.
Okay. Who's standing closest to me? Or like, are we all pretty close together?
I'd say emerging out from the portal, you'd all be pretty close.
Yeah, Maeve's just gonna whisper to the group. I'm like, guys, there's something in them.
Yeah, I'm right here.
No, not you. There's something else in the fog.
Can I cast Mage Hand? I believe I actually can have it cast invisible. I'm gonna double check exactly because of this great tree. I think Mage Hand I have. Nope, that's the next one I'm taking. Not yet. So I'm gonna cast Mage Hand out in front of myself, maybe by like 10 feet. And I would like to try to see if I can have the mage head grab onto whatever shadow's jumping around.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
I can even see it.
Roll a sleight of hand or straight dexterity.
Not incredible. That is 11.
Within 11, the hand goes to grab onto the figure as it moves, but the hand just right through it.
At this point, can we see something moving?
It's a very dark figure. It appears to have horns. It also, every now and again, whenever it passes by, you just see this glint of gold on the face. Ryuss, as you get glimpses of it, looks very familiar to possibly a deity you've seen recently.
I walk over to the to where the being is circling, hand on the staff and hand outwardly showing, and I say, do I want to say this in common? I think I do. I just say it loud, a follower of the Orchid Queen, are we? And I just stand waiting.
The figure itself splits into two. One goes behind the party, one in front. As it does, the figure now stationary, this illusory fog around begins to fade out a little bit. As in front of you, you see a rather tall, about 6'2" person in black plate mail with gold trim and bits of purple filigree. 4 long horns on top and a golden mask. He reaches behind his back, pulls out this small rod, and as it does, you hear a small click as the rod itself extends into a staff, unfurling a flag very similar to yours. Says, "Hello and welcome to Bismuth. I am Lafkin."
Now, Lafkin, could you spell that? I start taking out my notebook.
Laupkin.
All right. Perfect.
Hi, Lafkin.
Hello. Inquisitive bunch.
Yes.
Vampires. Taking a better look at the group.
Most.
Death dealers.
Still a biter.
Still a death dealer. Wonderful. I assume you're on your way to the Moonforge? No?
Yes, indeed, actually.
Oh, wonderful. So, do tell me, where did you get the staff?
Ooh, can I roll insight? Like, is there any sort of devious questionnaring going on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, intent roll go. That's
And Bit give him
hilarious.
advantage by punching this dude in the groin. I'm just kidding.
I love having a +5 because it makes this 2 a 7.
Fair enough.
Don't you still have the 20?
I used it. I forced the
Oh.
arrow to the foot.
Oh, right.
With the mask on and them rolling a natural 20, with the mask on and no facial expressions being able to be seen, and a very stoic body stance, not being able to read body language either, you are unsure as the intent of the questions.
I reply back then with, on my travels, found it, had to, where was that? That was, south of the Bloodright Bastion, I believe, near a dragon. And honestly, getting to become acquainted with the Orchid Queen to allow myself to actually even wield this, probably the best thing I could have done in the past. Takes out his watch.
As you take out said sundial watch or whatever watch you have, the emblem of the orchid glows on your hand as he reaches out for the staff with a gesture without saying any other words.
I take a step back. Is there a certain custom I'm not aware of that would require you to take this staff?
I am perceiving who that staff belonged to before you.
Just give the word, Ryuss.
I turn lower the fist. Visual gag, by the way, for those who are listening.
Bit snarls.
I don't believe the previous wielder of this staff is whatsoever relevant. When I got the Raven... Oh, that was a... I fall down, stand back up. I don't know where I just went. I'm back. I don't think it's relevant after getting the Orchid Queen's direct approval and her well wishes for me to have this and utilize
Literally
this in
her
her
blessing.
name. Her... Thank you.
We all have the blessing, I can see that. I would still like to know who that staff belonged to before it belonged to you.
Oh,
We are a small
Tell us
sect of
why.
we are a small sect of 100 members, and if one of us has fallen, I need to know who.
Oh,
I can't
you guys
remember
have
the name.
small sex.
It was
No.
It was that person from Gang,
Gang.
wasn't it?
Yes. So whoever was in Gang. I looked for the pamphlet that I kept mentioning previously, and I don't have it on me. Oh,
If you
yeah,
just-
it's the previous member of Gang.
If you just let me hold the staff, I can tell you who it is.
May I also hold it at the same time?
Sure.
Oh, I love it. Perfect. Two
Can I
hands
hold
on the
yours?
staff.
He does, and
Pete, you can't ask such a personal question.
he traces
what?
along the hilt of this staff, and as he does, it's following runes. The runes begin to light up. As it does, the other four of you notice as this long spectral scythe-like blade emerges out of the top as the fabric rolls up into the actual staff. Damn. Alright then. Malice, as he looks to the other. At least this one will be permitted. Malice, without a word, stands behind the group and gives a nod.
Let me guess, we need special permission?
Outsiders are not allowed into the inner sanctum of the Moonforge.
Ooh, what if I can do this?
As Bit glows and makes the pomegranate and holds it out.
You make fruit.
Magic fruit that can feed vampires and people.
Palm of power.
A palm of power.
Granted to thee.
It might be good for the townsfolk of Bismuth, but for us, that's not needed.
Oh,
How would I be able to is there any sort of procedure we would need to follow to allow my traveling group here, my companions, to venture into the Moonforge with me? Maybe not to the inner, because I understand that
do we
restrictions.
realistically would we want to be in the inner sanctum? Is that something that
The inner sanctum
I'm assuming-
consists of inside the mountain. As you all, he like waves his hand, the fog clears. You see this gigantic mountain in the center of this island you're on. As it makes way, there is a small doorway that enters into the mountain itself. The inner sanctum is the entirety of inside the mountain.
oh.
Yes.
so wait, so Bismuth is outside the mountain,
Yes.
and the inner sanctum and the Moonforge and all of that is inside the mountain.
Correct. Bismuth is it is the site where influential people of the world are buried. We bring them here on their death.
God, why did we come here again? Oh, that's right. We came for Ryuss. Because Ryuss needs to do the things. Yes.
We
Okay.
came-
Okay.
For finding good allies.
I will bring you to the base of the mountain. I will need to speak with Potter. And I will see what can be done.
I appreciate your kindness. Thank you so much. But before we go, in Foggy Bismuth here, is there any sort of any places of importance that any individual might look out for, like maybe some sort of I don't want to say a tavern, because we don't really need tavern. Oh, man. Any sort of like shops or anything of those sorts that might be of any interest to the whole grouping here? Maybe.
Unless you're trying to buy things for funeral rites or other customs of death, I would say no.
All right. Adventure. Onward.
While they're kind of walking, or I guess like while we're all walking away, Bit kind of looks up at Morgrid.
Do you think for funerals people would want like platinum for like their tombstones and coffins to make them fancy? Because I don't.
What?
We said we had to make them into coins, so I'm assuming we have to get rid of them. Unless, do I just give this to somebody and tell them that it's how much money I want?
To be honest, Bit, I don't know. I've never had platinum bars.
Oh,
I've never.
I'm assuming there's like a bank or a banking system.
We're going to a place called the Moon Forge, so they might even have some use for it here. But we'll see.
oh. All right, but we might not be allowed in the Moon Forge.
As a group, maybe not.
Ryuss, do you want a pet of some sort that accompanies you inside?
I'm guessing we're still close enough by that Laughter might be
Either
able
of
to
the
hear
two,
this.
yeah.
I look over at Maeve as I look over at you, Maeve, when you say that, and then I look back over at Lafkin, and I look over and see if I can even see where Malice is. I take a step back to like shoulder to shoulder, like, if it worked, that'd be hilarious. I also don't want to. I don't know the punishments here with sneaking in non-members.
Okay, disregard.
But it would be funny though.
As you all walk, Malice, Malice is to give a description, very similar to Lafkin, except for much taller and more broad. The plate mail that's on Malice is much thicker and heavier. And there seems to be like wisps of black smoke that come out from behind the mask. And he himself has these this feathered little neck piece, I guess, or mantle, I guess you could say. He walks back over to you, Ryuss, and inside your head you hear, "Hey!"
Hello. Can I reply back in my head?
Can.
I absolutely reply back just, oh, hello.
You're gonna be a member of the Moonforge?
I sure already am. Look at my hand. Look how cool this is. And I put my hand out. I never even thought this would be a thing.
I never got one of those. As he takes off his glove, it's just wisps of smoke that come off out of the armor.
Oh my goodness. How are you able to constitute your full is it the armor that contains you?
No, I was reborn.
Full Metal Alchemist.
I was gonna say I have a friend named Alphonse. He's written a book about a mechanical man.
I was reborn.
Full Metal Alchemist.
The Orchid Queen brought me back. I died in her name.
Now, are you eternally here to serve her, but when dying in her name? Or do you feel rested, or is this something that you are glad to be doing?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm so glad. I'm happy about that for you. Oh man, and how heavy is it? Do you feel the weight of this armor? Is this armor contained? I'm still curious about this.
No, it's pretty light. I like it. Anyways.
I say back in my head, I don't mean to just touch, but you said it's so light, and I go to reach out. Can I like try to lift your gauntlet here?
Yeah, as you go and try and lift it, it does not budge at all. It almost has a similar property to your staff.
Let me just...
Hey, you want something really cool?
I just met you, and strangers saying that could be a little... But we're Moonforge brethren here. Yes, what could be so cool? I'm so curious.
Don't tell Lafkin. Malice reaches into a bag and pulls out this, like, green and red fruit. As he's like, I got this from a druid. It's called bow of apples, and... Ooh, they make you trip, man. They make you trip real hard.
Bow of apples?
Yeah.
I'll trade you.
I've heard they're from Boababas, right?
Yeah, all of this conversation is happening inside of Ryuss's head, but
Just seeing the fruit like doesn't. I was gonna say I don't know if it's being offered, but like bitch just seeing another fruit just like says it loud.
I'll trade you.
No, it's the pomegranate.
Is that a child? They probably shouldn't do drugs.
In my head, I say, effectively no and yes at the same time. Also, drugs. You said okay. I grab it.
You've been handed the bow of apple, and he takes the pomegranate.
Oh, fair enough.
Don't worry, I got more if you want one.
Could I take a second one? Actually, I say in my head.
Yeah. Reaches into the bag, pulls out a second.
Take a second one. Perfect. I put those both in whatever satchel I have. I say out loud to Bit. I have been given information that would lead me to think this is not the time to eat a new fruit.
I trust you. But no, that those apples look mighty tasty, and no bag can hold me back.
I slowly turn Bit's head to Maeve.
Hi,
You
Maeve.
see, when insatiable hunger meets... and now Maeve's recovering... I go back and start talking to Malice in my head. Well, thank you for this very, very generous gift.
Don't ever put more than half of one into a pie.
Only half in a pie. Okay. If I do more than half, is it like lethal at that point?
No, but let's just say you're not going to exist on this plane for about a solid week and a half.
So you say let's just say, but do you mean quite literally? Will you be transported to a new plane of existence?
Maybe astrally, but not physically. You're going to feel like it, though. This druid gave me a pie, and I thought I went to the hells. It was terrible.
I know what you mean when you say astrally, but in my back of my head, I was like, yeah, I'll send you to another plane.
While Ryuss is like obviously like communicating with him somehow, I just like imagine them like staring deeply into each other's eyes, you know?
Very romantic.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hella romantic. I'm here for
Maybe
it.
it's just gonna like whisper down to Bit, be like, you should take a big bite of that right now. Just eat it. Screw him. Eat it.
Bit's gonna
I
step around
grab-
towards the satchel.
I actively watching move the satchel up to like inside my robes and like hug them tight.
Bit does this thing where he's like circling around Ryuss, like every time it moves around him, and Bit's just walking. He doesn't pick up pace or anything, but it's like someone passing a ball, and so Bit's just like walking in a circle.
I'll slowly, like as we're walking forward, I'll slowly just rotate in my gait, just and so
We're like a
in
little
my-
planet. Da-da-da-da-da.
We're having fun. I
Takes-
appreciate the
take-
rap. Oh.
Yeah. If you need anything else, let me know. Takes about an hour or two before you get to the base of the mountain. And as you do, Lafkin turns around. He's going to roll an insight on Malice real quick. Oh, no.
Whatever the highest roll, it's a 6.
Good. Lafkin looks over at Malice and looks back to the group. He says, I will be back momentarily. Malice will stay with you. If he offers you the apples, don't take them.
As apples? Can I have
Vampires
them?
can't eat
The-
food.
That's fair. But that one can. Just keep an eye. I shall return. As he begins making his way up the base of the mountain. Malice to all of you in all of your heads. Hi, welcome to the Moon Forge.
What the hell?
What?
Is that you?
Yeah.
If you're going to
Good.
be in people's heads, dear, consent is important.
Oh, sorry. Hey, can I talk to you all? Because I physically cannot speak.
Okay, you need to work on some hand signals that indicate telepathy.
That's fair.
Oh, do you know Dòchas sign language? It's every plane has its own. Every continent has its own.
DSL?
Yes, DSL.
I'm still learning.
At least you're
It's
trying.
like, I'm learning sign.
Hot dog?
Sorry you got way outside. They're like super secretive in there.
I speak telepathically.
Huh. Do you know what you
I
signed up
was
for?
gonna make DSL a thing because
Yeah.
I feel like this is gonna become a thing.
Yeah.
Can it please be any other abbreviation? DSL, every time I hear it, there's one thing that I know it stands for, and it makes me giggle every time. Please, God.
What is it, Jakey?
Dumb, stupid lemons.
Dick sucking lips.
Oh, I was very wrong.
Oh, this is great because Metamoose, me and Will are actively learning sign language together, so this is
Dope.
gonna be great.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's gonna be real awkward when you start signing like DSL to us. I'm gonna keep saying it because Astrofel's
Hey.
down to clown. When you start signing in ASL and then I'm trying to sign back in BSL and we're just like, what are you saying?
What is? How is that B?
That's B for binoculars.
Yeah. B for binoculars.
B for two of them.
Anyways, tangent.
That's B.
That's B.
How is that B?
B.
How is that
Listen,
any more
How,
B?
wait, no,
than
hold
that?
on. How is the letter B B? Who decided that? It's very
Anyway.
meta. Go ahead.
Arabian culture. Anyways, as he goes on, he says, "You know what you signed up for?" As doesn't necessarily indicate who he's talking to.
I
To
shake
be
my
best
head.
friends with these guys?
I guess some of them are a little like over the top, but essentially your job is to bring death to the world in a compassionate way, and also to root out any of the Raven Queen's followers and kill them.
Are you talking about our job as vampires or his
no,
job
no.
as a follower?
Oh, meant more to him, pointing. Yeah,
What's a Raven Queen?
he used to be the old god of death until the Orchid Queen killed her.
So, if she's already dead, why are people killing her? Why would someone follow a dead god?
Well, you see, the way deities work is if you have enough people who believe in them, eventually they'll become a god.
Bit suddenly gets a very sinister look on their face.
It's kind of like the Kuatoa. Have you ever heard of the Kuatoa? Little fish people, and they make their own gods. It's really cool.
So if enough people praise and believe you, then you can become a god.
That's the way the stories go.
I
Well,
really need
sure.
to up my game.
Unless you're a Kuatoa, and then, you know, I think you just need, like, I don't know, 10 people.
Next, you need 10 followers to become a god?
Listen, they got some weird gods, man. Like, one of them's like this crawfish-headed dude, and I think he died like 3 days later. But I don't know, Kuatoa gods, they aren't reliable. I wouldn't go that route if I were you.
Look out for cool toes. Okay. But if enough people believe in me, I can be God.
Do you know how many toes are on the normal human's foot? Bit?
Bit sits down.
No.
Four.
Bit. Do you know what a human's foot looks like?
Roots through his bag.
Like this?
Yes. How many toes are on that foot?
There was 5.
Aha! Was 5. That's what I was looking for. And on both feet, a total of 10. Kuatoa, not cool toes, but it's a good way to remember. Need at least 10 followers for a deity to form. So that's your fun way to make that memory stick.
I hate
Learning.
that that makes sense.
I didn't like that either.
Malice, do you want a foot?
Yeah, sure. Takes it.
And Malice,
Kind of just like drops it into the chest cavity of the armor. You just hear a tung, 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 tung.
Yeah, like a slapping sound against the metal. Like throwing a raw steak in an air fryer.
Get out of here.
Why is it gotta be an air fryer? What are you trying to
Well,
sell
because
me?
you see, man, like air fryers, you see, they're just so.
So,
Airline food.
what are y'all up to? Got big plans? Vampire plans? I don't know. I've never met a vampire.
You've met quite a few now.
That's neat.
Yes. If you could also go in past tense. Well, yes. Visual gag going on for the listeners at home. If you are privy to it, there's. Well, first, I think our goal is to kind of network and figure out who we as a group are able to rely on. And me, being a follower of the Orchid Queen now, I was hoping to find out the lengths and means of support that the Moonforge and other followers may be able to provide. So, at least in this stage in whatever the plan we're going through, question mark, profit, we are trying to essentially make an impact on the world and
I hope you're ready to put that on pause, because you've got a new job. And you accepted the staff. It's kind of part of the thing.
yes, the Orchid Queen and I have a bit of an agreement at the moment,
You're now gonna be a Quasiator.
Gesundheit.
Half a second.
Quasiator.
Again, Gesundheit.
Quasi Atoa.
Gesundheit. Good God. Is there
It
something in the
sounds
air
like
missing?
you're trying to say
Yeah, it's all
something
the
about
dead people.
wyverns.
Oh.
Well, they call them Seekers, and the staff that belonged to Shade Cutter, he was a cool guy. Kind of actually sad he's dead. His job was a Seeker, and there's 20 of them. Well, 19, but now there's 20 again. And pretty much your job is to search the continents for various items, tomes, knowledge, etc., and collect all this info and knowledge for the betterment of the Moonforge.
Well, the good thing about that is if I am going to be bound to doing this non-stop, which is not the understanding I had exactly, it is going to be happening simultaneously to the entire group ambition. So I would say it's on pause.
That's a good point. Cool.
Making it work.
I don't know if I was supposed to tell you that. Kind of just stops for a second. He's like, oh, well, it's out of the bag now.
I'd rather things be out in the open like that most of the time anyway, so I appreciate your honesty.
I like your horns. Look, like the face turns over to Morgrid. The black gold. It's a cool look. It's real neat.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I just kind of message him telepathically and say, is there anything else you want to tell us?
You come
that
here
needs
often?
to stay on the down low? No, I've never been here.
I was gonna say, I've never seen you here before.
How close is he standing to us?
Well, say that one more time.
How close is he standing to us?
Probably within 10 feet.
Okay.
Says,
Continue.
I don't know if I'm supposed to tell anybody this, but I feel like life just rolled a natural one, so there's an entrance to the Underdark underneath the Moonforge. Really cool.
Wow.
That makes sense. There's usually a lot of, from what I've read, holes in different sort of mountain ranges and areas or pathways that lead down to the Underdark of the lands. That's, do you have to be inside the sanctum to?
Or you just dig, I guess. It's a really deep hole.
Well, is the pathway there within those doors? And I point up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But I guess if you just dug down here, like now, you could probably get there in a couple of years.
No.
Hey, if hypothetically, we were able to get into the Moonforge, what kind of indicator would tell us where that passageway is to the Underdark?
I've never been there.
You've never seen the passageway?
Nope. Lafkin won't let me. Said it's too dangerous.
So you don't really know where it is in there. All you know is that it's in there.
Yeah. I heard one of the other armigers, and he was talking about the maw down there, and I don't know. Sounded spooky.
We like spooky stuff.
Does anybody have any desires to go to the Underdark? I've never been. I've only seen this top plane here, outside of my beloved Fae. If we can get passage
It sounds
down,
cool as hell. I want to go.
Maeve is gonna say, yes, I want to go, but she's gonna say it in Undercommon.
I don't know what the fuck you just said.
Yeah, it just kind of sounded like.
I liked, the Vilal caught me there, and I thought for a second it was some sort of infernal, but goodness. What, Maeve, what the fuck was those words?
Yeah, I would like to go. That was Undercommon.
Say it one more time in Undercommon. Go ahead. I want to hear what it is. I want to try to see if I can decipher it. Takes out a notebook.
What does it sound like, Maeve?
This is where Drew in post edits exactly what Drew said over over Caitlin going.
Do that. Yeah, do that.
I got you.
Question, Drew.
Yeah.
Who out of the Solaris Syndicate was based in the Underdark?
That would be your good old friend, Skell.
I thought it was, but my brain was like, was it someone else? No, it was Skell.
Old
I
Skell.
occasionally take notes, apparently.
Whoa, watch out.
I know. Whoa, hey. I mean, we could go to the Underdark at some point, but given that we don't exactly know what happened to Skell.
Oh, yeah. Wait, is that what the Underdark is? Where Skell is? Sorry, we've all been talking about it, and I've been too scared to ask what an Underdark is.
It's a place. It's underneath and it's dark. It's pretty much it does what it says on the tin. As far as I know, I've never been. So, but yes, Skell was saying that that's where he was based. Like in the meat space when he's not being a creepy eye. And now he's not a creepy eye anymore, so I assume he's back there.
I hate the phrase meat space. But valid, that yeah.
Oh, buddy, I use that all the time, IRL.
IRL, I love that. That's a great term.
Oh, so hang on, Ryuss. You're saying you don't like the term meat space, but meat puppet was fine?
Oh yeah, a puppet's fine, but an entire vacuum full of it is like how the plane of fire is all-consuming fire. Meat space sounds like a really horrible
As
construct.
just throwing his hands up and walking away and then walking back and another thing. Just fucking this bullshit.
Do the puppet hand signs.
I want to try and meat puppeting someone now in this body.
You want to get in the armor?
That's not meat.
Is there flesh in there?
Well, yeah.
Aside from the foot?
No.
It's not the same. But thank you for offering.
It's okay.
Can I have an apple?
Can I get in?
No, don't give.
Pulls out
Okay.
a bow of apple.
I don't recommend it.
What's with the apples?
Eat it.
They are hallucinogenic, I believe is the term.
I believe we're already hallucinating. I thought I heard a dog.
No, I'm just gassy.
Skippy.
What does that mean?
Just bite it.
It means you see things that aren't there.
What?
Only have that bite. Do not take any other bites. If you
Well,
haven't swallowed it,
It was really sweet. Sorry,
Don't
I had to
have
swallow
any
to tell you that.
No.
don't have any more bites. No more bites. Save it for another day. I put my hand on top of it. I'm not going to move your hand down. I'm just going to put my hand on top of it. Please. For everyone's sake at the I look at everybody else and like, I can't,
Bit takes like a little cloth, wraps it up, and then puts it in his bag of where he keeps very weird things.
Bon
Okay.
voyage, my friend.
Wait, what?
You are going to experience visions and have you ever heard of tripping balls?
I was gonna
Not balls
say,
that make you trip.
in the common parlance, you're
Uh,
about to trip balls, my friend.
I really need you,
When I had
Jakey.
a marble collection, I dropped some and like made
No,
like
those are
other
slipping
gods slip.
balls.
I'm gonna, Jakey. I'm gonna need you to take that green screen behind you and just put a bunch of psychedelic effects behind you.
Yeah, I can just do that. Just out
You got
out
skills.
the gate
You
here.
got
Yeah,
skills.
I can.
We'll just superimpose it
yeah.
later.
Now everybody, Jakey,
Jakey.
Why can't I find any of my stuff? There it is.
I was gonna say, if you just turn it green, we can superimpose it ourselves later.
It's true.
Wait. Why didn't it do that? I just did a thing, but it didn't.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Oh wow!
Wow.
You hear all the sitars, which is great. I'm George Harrison.
Hey, George Harrison.
Boa Babbles, they always derail everything.
That's why we.
Do you want a
pace ourselves
con
at
save
one
or
bite.
anything for this, or is it just immediate like
Yeah, no con-
entropic effects?
Yeah, there is
Really?
no con
Wow.
save for
Wild.
Boa Babbles.
I'm worried about the wisdom saves you'll have to make potentially. So let's enjoy this.
It's really serene right now. These beautiful, like, squishy mushrooms are just, like, appearing out of the ground. Just kind of, like, blooping. They're blooping around.
Blooping.
They're blooping. Little bloop,
That's an
bloop, bloop,
apex
bloop,
predator.
bloop.
Oh, he's down for blooping.
Anybody looking down towards Bit, the normally all black eyes are somehow even wider and blacker.
Vanta Black.
This feels like when I was dreaming before, when I kept falling asleep. I saw pictures in my head. I didn't do that before, but now there's pictures everywhere.
Bit, would you like to get back into the papoose?
Yeah.
Okay.
It like slowly climbs into the papoose, and as they're just like kind of sitting there,
One of the times when I was dreaming, I saw... It was... Ash playing a flute. And there was a bird. But the bird wasn't a bird. And then it was... And I saw Morgrid. And they were really sad. Huh. Weird things happening. Mushrooms.
It's about this.
I'm gonna
Oh, no, go ahead.
tighten the papoose a little bit, just so that I know that Bit is gonna have to fight to get out of it.
have you seen my
things-
strength score? That
Yeah,
needs to be
I
one
know,
hell
I
of a
know.
papoose.
Bit's gonna claw through you.
Steal papoose.
Oh my god, that's... No, I was gonna reference something. You know what? Here, content warning, content warning, content warning. Good. Bit is the bucket of rats.
Yep.
Anyway.
I was right there
What's-
with you.
Can,
We'll talk about that after stream.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not great. It's terrible.
ready.
It's about this point in time, Lafkin is making his way back down the mountain. Gets there, stops and looks around. Immediately looks over at Bit. Looks to Malice. Like, really?
You guys hired a clown late for my birthday. I want to beep his nose. Beep beep.
I'm just
Beep,
gonna
beep,
I'm
beep,
just
beep,
gonna slowly turn around.
Oh, the clown's going. Goodbye. I wish you farewell. I'll miss you.
The lot of you, as he continues to say, you have all been invited in. Please keep the 4 of these wonderful folk in line. You are going to be meeting the leader of this organization.
I'm so glad.
I have
Thank
a
you.
question, if I may. Why?
Well, your friend here has acquired a staff of one of our members and is now a part of this sect. Whether
I mean
he,
that I understand. Why on earth would they want to meet us?
he doesn't, but you've been invited either way.
A courtesy, it sounds.
Okay, there's courtesy and then there's just idiocy.
Where we could have had everybody stuck outside and just me having to go in, or if I even wanted to go in without you all. This is a pretty good outcome.
It feels like for an audio and visual medium, this would be a weird thing to just split us all up like that. But if we say united, the audio and visual things would be wonderful. Make for a delightful listening experience.
Darling, you're getting meta again. Quiet time now.
I see squares with people.
I think it would be best if we all went, but let Ryuss step ahead of us, kind of let him represent our group, speak for us, and I look at Bit really intently at that moment when I say, let Ryuss speak for us.
Bit, I need you to roll a wisdom save. Morgard is
Very
looking
good.
very intently at you. Kind of spooky lady.
11.
You're not fully freaked out, but Morgard's...
You're kind of into it a little bit.
I was gonna say, Bit like takes Morgan's cheeks and just starts doing this. Just like rubbing Morgan's face.
Anyone
skin's so
else
soft.
would be dead. Anyone else would be dead right now.
Your skin's so soft. What's your routine? I have fur now. I'm like a fuzzy little bear.
Bit starts doing that to himself now.
Lafkin is now leading the rest of you up into the Moonforge itself. You have to ascend up a very large staircase to get up inside. As you get to the entrance, there are these like very ornate slabs of almost obsidian, and Skippy
Thunder?
is
Skippy, mad friend.
Skippy's coming too. Skippy's very upset.
Skippy, we just said that Ryuss was speaking for us, okay?
Well, you know what?
himself.
Skippy's got a point. So, as you approach up to these doors, with this beautiful slate, in this golden filigree, there are 2 statues of the Orchid Queen, that stand outstretched in front of these doors. As the doors begin to open, you see 2 more of these people, and that is we're gonna take a break so Skippy can calm down, and we'll be right back.
Hoopla.
everyone. Hello. Hello. Welcome back from break. Hi, I'm Drew, and this is Crimson Conquest. If you missed the beginning of this episode, you missed it. Long story short, Raz sent gang to Bismuth, and now they're over by the Moonforge, and they met two people who are members of the Moonforge, and they're like, hey, it's cool staff, where'd you get it? And Rice is like, hey, that's mine, you can't touch it unless I'm also touching it. And then they're like, all right, well, come on. And then Bit did drugs, and yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. We're at the entrance of the Moonforge. There we go.
Before we enter, Bit does a thing where his face just kind of like inflates and then just bleh, bits of apple just scatter. Just for the sake of not derailing things further. And just kind of shakes his face. He's still like a little like kind of bubbly feeling, but he's like,
He'll still have some lasting effects, but nothing too crazy now.
It's all right, dear. We'll do drugs another day.
Okay. How is my mouth both wet and dry?
As you all enter inside this doorway with the gilded runes and the Orchid Queen statues, you begin to see other members very much looking like Lafkin and Malice. Each one's armor looks different. However, the one thing that is the same with all of them is they all have the same helmet and face mask, that golden mask, and the four horns that come off of it to symbolize the Orchid Queen. Some of them are doing random things. You come across some that have like ravens perched up on their shoulders. Others aren't in armor but in robes, still with the helm on as well. And you start making your way in. You make it to one very tall door, and Lafkin looks at the lot of you and says, well, you made a deal with the Orchid Queen, and I guess welcome in. As the door, as it moves out of the way, you see this very long walkway, almost like church pews on the inside. And at the very end, you see this man with, are y'all familiar with the band Ghost?
Oh yeah.
So very much like Papa vibes of like very Pope-like, but in all black and kind of there. Probably Papa Nihilus would be the closest to that. As Lafkin enters, you all walk down, and you're greeted with a welcome. Hello.
I bow.
You have been blessed by the Orchid Queen.
Indeed I have.
And I have been told that you carry the staff of Shade Cutter.
And doing that this time, it's the scythe aspect comes out, and I look at it, jump a little bit, and shake it a little bit, and right back in. Yes, indeed.
In taking that staff, you will assume his role.
And what exactly was this role? Was it the previously maybe not I've heard of essentially a seeker type role here to find items and information and the sort. Is that vaguely correct?
You will be a Quasitor. You will be a seeker. Shade Cutter was tasked with finding Delamiran crystals.
That name, that You said it was Dalamirian? The moon, the satellite, one of the three.
Yes.
Is that correct? Yes.
When the moon Delamiran was destroyed, crystals fell.
Do they have any sort of appearance or easy way to locate them in particular, like a magical aura, if not even visible, but just touched by magics in general, or are they large scale, the size of a needle? What am I to expect?
He kind of like leans back in the throne as he sits for a moment. He reaches down, and in this like inky void that's next to the throne, he puts his hand down into it, and out emerges this ornate lantern. It's very spherical on the inside, with this teal glow that comes from it, and there are gold bands that move around. He holds it out, and as it does, the lantern itself opens, and a crystal about yay big comes out of the lantern and just kind of floats for a moment. You can absorb souls with these.
A gem for souls. Okay.
So
When... Yeah, I'm sorry. You have all the information I'm trying to learn. Notebook is like more prevalently shown as he says that.
you will take this lantern, collect your crystals, and bring them here.
And bring the crystals. Now, do the crystals come with the souls within, or do I bring them as vessels, empty or full? Or if they're empty, how am I supposed to fill them?
Matters not. Bring them empty, bring them full.
Beautiful.
He glances over to the rest of the party. Is this who you traveled with?
As of, takes out a calendar he definitely has. Not a crazy long time ago, yes. But this is the longest I have actually had companionship in this form. These are my closest companions, indeed.
Vampires.
Yes.
You will be the first of the order afflicted with the curse.
If this is any sort of problem, please let me know.
It is not. You are all death dealers, and as the goddess of death commands, so shall it be.
The nature of living is dying, so we just look at everybody. We just gotta bring that in more then. Yes. That's a very apt. Yes. Okay. Now, is there an issue with my traveling companions at all not being followers of the Orchid Queen?
As long as they bring their share of death.
I can also help make up lost ground in some places where they don't. But I don't think it'll be an issue.
You lot are tasked, if you are to encounter followers of the Raven Queen, they are to be dispatched. Veering from this will lead to your excommunication. Kind of like cocks his head and looks towards Bit.
There's like a little hand over Astrofell's shoulder because Bit's still in the Bjorn.
Slowly turns.
Are the Night's Watch people who follow the Raven Queen?
Many of them do have followers, but they are not all entirely. Bring their heads, bring their souls, whatever it is you must do.
Bit reaches into his bag, pulls out an arm without a hand and throws it.
First deposit.
It falls to the ground for the first time on this, like, very, like, sunken in flesh on this person. You see a smile, like, one side doesn't move, but the other kind of just, like, moves up. This is good. Filth. He gestures over. A servant adorned in these like very black robes with a black veil over top comes and collects the hand and brings it off. This is your task. It is simple. Carry it out.
Now, my only question, and I also had this for the Orchid Queen herself, but if completing a task, such as taking the head of a follower of the Raven Queen, were to so heavily, without actually attempting it, result in utter failure and death of myself and my companions. Am I supposed to go in and just be like, Raven Queen follower, I am going to... and I die?
No, you will request assistance from the armigers. He glances up over to Lafkin Malice. There are 10 in total. These are the assassins of this sect. Should you require their aid. Another of these like servants comes up and they place a stone in your hand, very similar to the sending stone that was given to you by Lorelei. They are just a call away.
You'll love to see it. Thank you. I was going to ask, how do I contact? And you have so quickly answered the question I had yet to ask. I'm so glad. Now, I do have questions for you. Is there anything else that we must discuss before I go forth in anything?
You yourself have access to majority of this sanctum. Your followers, however, do not. But
what's the limits?
They must be escorted by 2 armigers at any time. The armigers will let them know where they can and cannot go.
I think over to Malice. Do you believe that the entranceway to the Underdark is indeed one of those places that we would not be able to go?
Probably, but if I escorted you, you're good to go. Maybe. I don't know. Lafkin probably won't allow it, but...
We'll work on it.
Hey, what's
Wink.
worse that's gonna happen? They're gonna kill me again? The 3rd time's the charm.
I do not reply back. Good to know. Boundaries are understandable for a society such as this. So, I immensely appreciate that information.
Go now, your task has been set.
Now, before I do set off, as individuals, we are all formerly of the Blood-Ray Bastion. If we are in the... If we are looking to find ways to, if not usurp, but to annihilate a group of beings, no specific ones in mind, would I also be able to call upon my Moonforged brethren and utilize strength in various ways for various means, or am I limited to strictly just the Raven Queen's followers? I am to bring death, and this would always bring opportunity to bring death, and I'll revel in it. But vampires are not those who normally bear souls, or not at least in the way that regular mortals do. How is the view of vampire killing on the Moonforge?
I have no qualms with this. The Raven Queen detested undead. The Orchid Queen does not. The Orchid Queen's teachings show that all souls eventually come back to her. So, be it.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Hoster being side by side with Kadira lots, had Kadira ever mentioned either like Orchid Queen, Raven Queen, or anything along those lines in a negative or positive connotation, like whatsoever?
Yes. While in your tube, you've probably heard Kadira cursing the Orchid Queen at certain points in time, most notably for killing the Fates, as she had great promise, and her Fates were to show her the way and what she was predestined to become, and now it's gone, and that bitch stole her fate.
I think knowing that, Bit raises their hand again.
The head tilts back towards you.
Mother Kadira curses the Orchid Queen constantly. She hates the Orchid Queen for killing the Fates, and she's making more undead constantly.
I will never understand why people curse them. The Orchid Queen has brought free will unto the people. Has given the people a choice. They can make on their own. Nothing is predetermined. This Mother Kadira, who is she to you?
She made what I was before I came back. But she also is the embodiment of someone who hates free will. She wants everything her way. She wants to control everything and everyone. She despises anyone who has anything nice that isn't hers. And if she can get her fingers into it, she takes nice things and leaves people in dark rooms for a long time.
Right.
I think the phrase raging cunt would be appropriate to him.
Ryuss. Zod, have you ever introduced your name to this person?
Sorry, what did you say?
Have you ever introduced yourself or said your name so far?
Bit to like this guy?
For Ryuss.
Oh, Ryuss. Okay, sorry.
I don't think I have, and I don't think I have also greeted
Lafkin or Malice.
Yeah, I don't think I've greeted them in my name.
Just a little side note for you to think about. as he does say, he's like, Ryuss, if this is the truth, then she must be brought down.
That's a quest. I'm making that my big note.
Big note.
Kill Mama. Kill Mama.
Kill Mama Kadira. She dead. Prestidigitation. He looks back to the rest of the party and says, my homagers will assist in this if what you say is true. However, we will do our own reconnaissance into this. Should it prove true, you will have our aid.
I love to hear it. I love to hear it. Wonderful. Also, I guess I could have asked anybody. Is there any sort of shop or armory or apparel center within the Moonforge? You know, it is in the name Forge, I would assume, but I'm not of this plane directly, so it's a rather new experience for me.
Ryuss just like, do y'all have a gift shop?
I'm looking to buy a souvenir t-shirt.
He tilts his head over to Lafkin and says, bring them to the Luna Ferraris. Have them outfitted.
Oh my god, guys, we're gonna go see real Ferraris?
I'm more of a Lamborghini person, but that's fine.
Fucking Italians!
Nice. That's a callback joke.
That's a great callback joke. I feel heard, seen.
I feel attacked.
I'm Greek. I can't feel anything. Goddamn.
Lafkin also bring them by the Polya and have them trained. Lafkin gives a nod. Begone now, your quest has started.
Montage.
The Polya?
I'm
I'm assuming that's not a sex thing.
No.
And therefore I'm disappointed.
Did you want it to be? That's a SpongeBob joke, everybody. Thank you.
As you're walking out, and you mentioned that name, Lafkin looks at you and says, the Black Cloaks. They are the ones that train the fighters.
You punch one tree badly and suddenly everyone thinks that you're shit at fighting.
You are shit at fighting. It doesn't have anything to do with
Wow.
trees.
Okay, thank you.
You're
No,
welcome.
I'm shit at fighting. I just blow things up. I can't push, punch, pull anything.
Hey, you can do
I'm-
really cool magic. I can't do magic.
I'm reasonably competent with a sword. Just not a big chunky sword, that's all.
A thin, wobbly one, right?
Exactly.
Amazing. As you are all moving through, we are going to kind of do a little montage thing. You were first brought to the Polya, and there are 10 members, 5 of which come to help you learn to fight better. With this, everyone, welcome to level 6. As time goes by, you spend roughly about 2 weeks training here, and you are outfitted. Correct, yes. Hello.
Question.
Yes.
2 weeks. Do any of them respond to flirtatious advances?
We shall see. Let me roll a d10.
I'm curious
There's
on
a chance
how,
all 10
like,
do.
Oh, shit.
Cause look, Astrofel's gonna be here for 2 weeks. Astrofel's gonna get bored.
How many digits were on the? Oh shit, half.
Half of them. Half of them respond.
All right, I'm into it.
Morgrid. you are also gifted 2 magic items over this 2 weeks. As small
Wow.
little celestial portals open up and 2 items fall out. One of which
Shit.
Yay! One of which is a greater healing potion. Another
Sorry.
another of which
Really funny, Dad.
appears to be a hempen rope. Not quite sure what it is or what it does at the moment. But if you spend some time with it over the 2 weeks, you have found that this rope can be used to cast rope trick once per day.
I fucking knew it.
Wow, okay.
More
Okay,
tricks for
cool.
rope.
Yay.
Rope trick is so cool.
Question for the lot of you. I'm gonna go over each of you individually here for a moment. Bit, what is it you would like to train in?
So training isn't as in like our level, like what we're doing, or is like training as in like what we're like something we want to try?
Yeah, if there's something you want to try, weaponry, spells, shielding.
I think Bit wants to practice like unless Maeve has like a super like set plan. Bit wants to spend time with Maeve trying to teach Maeve how to make the pomegranates. And Bit also wants to see if Bit can like figure out anything like druidic wise. Bit's still gonna be embracing like his like totem path thing, but he's gonna try and see if he can understand more about the druidic stuff, because I don't think maybe he will. You know what? I'm gonna flip a dicey encounters little D2 and see if he do. So I'm gonna do void.
Void.
Druid, not druid. I'm gonna undo that barbarian level. Bit's gonna start learning how to be a druid.
Druid. All right. Sweet. Nothing more than I love watching a bear rage.
Oh yeah, that's terrifying. Awesome.
Yep. All right.
Cool.
We are moving over to Asterfell. Asterfell, what is it that you would like to spend time training on over these 2 weeks?
As much as I definitely flirt a lot and definitely probably bang a couple of these dudes.
It's mixed genders.
Dudes is
That's fair.
You know.
That's fair. That is also mixed gendered.
mixed gender. I think Astrofel is going to be surprisingly driven when it comes to actually training to fight with weapons and fists. Like there is a fire under his ass in terms of like every time you punch a tree it hurts your wrist and you keep losing hit points. You need to fucking get better because you need to be able to punch people in the face.
Incredible. All right. Just writing some things down. Maeve, what is it you spend time training with other than learning a new spell?
I think Maeve wants to try and be a little bit more sneaky, kind of like Morgrid is.
Awesome. Yeah, so these trainers of the Polia, they spend time teaching you how to better use shadows and things of that nature. Jane, what does Morgrid do for these 2 weeks?
Morgrid is actually secretly studying up on the Orchid Queen. Outside of training. Like with her weaponry, I guess. She's training with weaponry by day, studying the Orchid Queen by night.
Interesting. Are you studying this more in a way of learning more about the Orchid Queen, or are you studying this more in a way of understanding how this sect of followers works?
Both.
Okay.
I'm curious overall, and yeah, I want to know more.
Perfect. And Ryuss, what is it you spend doing over these 2 weeks?
Ryuss hasn't had a moment to really explore the benefits given when taking the staff and beginning his following of the Orchid Queen. I think he's going to try to expand that, learning more about how maybe the warlock side of him can really branch out. Technically, on paper, warlock level 2 added. But I think he's going to start to look into how he can really optimize and modify and modulate his Eldritch Blasts. 'Cause that's so fun.
Amazing. Jakey, Bit spends time practicing these druidic natures with Maeve, is successfully teaching Maeve how to do this new spell. And you have a permanent +1 to your wisdom in learning these druidic things. Asterfell, as you spend time fighting and learning how to use weapons and armor, you have gained a +1 to your strength permanent. Caitlin, Maeve has spent time learning how to be sneaky and move around in the shadows. You have gained a +1 to your dex. Morgrid, spending time studying and also fighting. Between the two, you have an option. Either strength or intelligence.
Okay, let me... intelligence, please.
All right. Your intelligence has gone up by 1. Ian, for Ryuss, as you are learning more about your eldritch ways, there are other warlocks of the Orchid Queen. Spending time learning new arcana, you as well also gain a +1 to your intelligence.
Love that.
As of next session, I will also have the new armors and weapons for each of you. Each of you is now at least proficient with carrying one type of weapon you are not currently proficient with. After the 2 weeks have gone by, and while you are all sorting through on the level up, what is it you plan to do now? Your training is complete, and time has been spent. You have visited the Luna Ferraris. If you want, you could have ventured throughout the Moonforge itself, whether it be sneaky or stealthy.
Could we have converted the said platinum pieces into gold and potentially bought some things?
Absolutely.
17 times
500.
500.
I think 550 specifically, or was that incorrect? Or was it just 500?
I think it's 500.
500.
Depends on the store.
I don't think Bit has anything in mind to buy, but Bit just was curious, honestly.
I would
100 gold apiece.
I would say some of that money will probably go towards new armor, new outfits, things like that. Except for Ryuss, being an actual member of this comes with its benefits. Obviously, your weapons and armor and things like that are going to come free. For the rest, you would be able to buy it, being that you are associated with a member of the Moonforge. And we can figure that out after stream, how much money you would have spent and what you would have got.
It would be 1,700 gold that we all would have received from selling it. But then how much we ever spend, that's 1,700 though.
1,700.
17 ahead? Oh my god. So much money.
Sounds like y'all need to go to El
Stonks.
Grithian and go to the Celestial Hotel.
Onks. I think for a majority of like our time, like now, I think Bit, like learning Druidic and starting to understand more of things, because there's two things that has happened with Bit that probably no one wants to happen. A, Bit knows a new language and is obnoxious only talking to me about like in it being like we have a secret code. But also Bit now knowing mold earth is randomly making cubes of earth disappear whenever there's loose ground and then walking away from that. So there's just these pitfalls that are 5 feet deep.
Incredible.
He'll sometimes fill them, but he's doing the same thing, the little Totoro dance. That's how he does all of his spells. He doesn't have to, but he does.
Incredible.
Yeah, I think after the 2 weeks, I think Bit is like throughout the 2 weeks constantly just like wherever we're staying or whatever, trying to spend as much time with like everybody as possible. Now that Bit isn't bound to staying in one room or in basically a fucking jar, I'm assuming we can actually like hang out and do stuff. So Bit seems over enthused by that fact and is just like
Like, I'll sleep under your bed. Am I loud? Can we talk through the night? Slumber party. You won't even know I'm here. You won't hear a peep. I'll be quiet the whole night. Absolute silence.
About 3 nights into the 2 weeks of training, the lot of you were all brought outside of the Moonforge. During the middle of the night, as you were brought outside, the entirety of who is at the Moonforge also exits the Moonforge as well. Everybody stops to look up, as for the first time in thousands of years, all 3 moons are completely full. As you all watch this, a singular beam of moonlight from the combined 3 moons enters into the top of the mountain behind you. As quickly as it happens, it fades. Lafkin looks at the rest of you and says, "That was a once-in-a-lifetime event that is now going to happen on a regular basis. Whenever the 3 moons are full, that will happen." For the first time, you see this normally stoic person that y'all have kind of grown to know over the past 4 days. Just the whole body language just kind of relaxes for a moment. Definitely not as like stiff and uptight.
Are you smiling under there?
You see a single tear drop from the bottom of the mask.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't.
No, yeah.
Oh. Nice.
Well, we got training to do as the rest of the week and a half goes by. What is it y'all would like to do?
Just real quick, over those 2 weeks,
Mhm.
while Bit is learning things about, being a druid and teaching me how to grow these pomegranates and stuff. With the 3 full moons and stuff, I think Maeve also wants to start trying to teach Bit some of the rituals and stuff that her grove used to do with the full moons, because now she has somebody to do them with.
I raise my hands like this, and we look at the moon.
We can
Or am I
start
supposed
it
to lay
that
down?
way.
They do it like this?
But like lays upside down.
Yeah, that works for now.
Something odd you have all noticed. Over these 2 weeks, you have not had the urge to feed.
Maeve hasn't even wanted to bite anybody?
Nope.
Nice.
Weird.
Wonder why that could be.
I was gonna say, because I'm assuming Bit for the first bit, like while teaching Maeve how to make the pomegranates, would be feeding everyone. Is there a point where like Maeve and Bit, now that we can both do this, like, do we spot like or clock that like others like wouldn't need the pomegranates as well, or is it because of the pomegranates? Like,
Funny enough, Bit, you're actually the only person that's hungry. And you would have
including
been
the other people in here.
including the other, or not including the other people. You physically, there are others in the sect themselves that you do see eat occasionally. However, whenever they do, it's very much like Mandalorian style, where they never take off the face mask. They just kind of lift it up to eat or drink. But out of your group, you're the only person that has had the urge to eat.
Huh.
I mean, I don't know.
So this is at the end.
Maybe
of the
also
2 weeks, Steve?
Astrofel if you get snacky.
Oh, there's plenty of snacks around here.
Hey.
So we kind of figured that out. You said at the end of the 2 weeks or over the course of the 2 weeks?
Over the course of the 2 weeks, no one has had the urge to feed on anyone.
Can I roll 2d6 to see how long it's come to realization for Ryuss?
Yeah,
'Cause
for sure.
As soon as he realizes it, he's gonna start also trying to figure out why.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long he had to try. I rolled a total of 3, so 3 days.
3 days in, fucking Rice is like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
My tummy didn't do a rumbling. Can I do a roll then? I mean, I'm cool just doing a single roll for the rest of the week.
Straight intelligence or Arcana?
Straight intelligence or Arcana? Okay.
Right intelligence? Disgusting.
Gay intelligence.
Because Bit's testing on this, can I use guidance on that?
Yeah.
Take a D4, my friend.
Beautiful. I also want to make sure I add my extra +1. Is it gonna let me? I'll add it separately. Because that'll give me a +1 to the bonus. So it's gonna be 12 plus my roll plus you said guidance. I can't. Okay, let's get this D4 going. Okay,
This is
at
gonna be
least I
some
got
heinous numbers.
I rolled a 1
Oh,
and a 20. So 1 on the D4 and a 20 on the die. That's a 33.
With a 33, Rias, you remember mention of souls being used and captured. The Moonforge is a place where many souls are collected.
Do I take this as because it surrounds us, it's just the souls like slowly seep into us as if we're feeding?
Mm-hmm.
So we're siphoning off the fucking land?
Yep.
I'm not saying shit. I'm guessing it's gonna take me the entire time, like trying to piece everything together like a fucking Pepe Sylvia puzzle on the wall. And once it comes to that conclusion, you're just gonna go like, I can get used to this. I can get used to this fish for sure. All right, very good. All right. Doesn't bring it up in case anybody else does. He will then talk about it, but.
Bit like who's been using guidance to like kind of help with this, but has no idea what's going on because Bit's trying to figure out the druid stuff. Just sees Ryuss like figure something out and walk out of the room.
Wait, but what? Well, fuck me, I guess.
I walk by. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
See you
Yes,
at
very good.
Oh, right.
Bit sits alone in the cafeteria at lunch.
Yes, very good. Thank you.
But Bit intentionally doesn't sit with anybody else. But like Bit does a thing where it's like any of the other people are being friendly. He's just like,
I've already got best friends. Stop it.
Over the 2 weeks, as the training goes, there are different places within this, and any of you can let me know if there is a place you would have wanted to visit. One would be the Corvus Custos, the Raven Keepers. It's essentially an aviary for ravens. There's also the entrance for the Gravis Tenera, which are the grave tenders. This place is where they officiate funerals for high-ranking powers in the continent. There are the Edificantes. They are the builders. There's a lot of architecture here where they go to build temples to the Orchid Queen and show people the ways of the Orchid Queen. There is the Eruditors, the learned. There are 15 of these members who stay at the Moonforge reading from old tomes and runes. There is also obviously the Luna Ferraris, which are the Moonsmiths, and the Black Cloaks. These are the main places you could be escorted to and allowed to visit.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Would I need to be escorted to be able to leave?
You'd be escorted to the door, and then after that, you could have full reign of wherever you wanted to go on the island.
Okay. Yeah, they're probably sick of me then, because I keep leaving.
There are servants, like the ones in the full black robes with the veils, that also can escort people as well. However, generally there is one armiger that follows with at any given time.
Yeah, they're sick to the back teeth of me because, like, if I'm not in training or in training, then I am outside.
That's fair. Morgrid, anywhere you would want to go venture, inside or outside?
Okay, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little bit on topic, but off topic. Did we decide that we were not going to try to find the Underdark group?
I'm still down.
I don't know if we ever made a full decision, but I'm totally down for that too.
Because that's kind of what Morgrid had in mind.
I'm down the clown.
Option F.
Fair enough. So,
I just like spending time with you guys.
so host them, just the host them is a little bane. If that's the case, then during one of the last nights of the 2 weeks would be your chance to go try to get into the Underdark, or at least the entrance of the Underdark. I need a group persuasion roll, and we're gonna do a median of all the rolls to get Malice to take you there.
I am going to roll my portent rolls before I do this because many nights have passed.
Yep.
Could I use guidance on somebody in place of my roll?
If you wanted to.
Goodness, never forget.
May I
I'm gonna
use
give-
inspiration on this one?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna give Rizmaster Astrofel some guidance.
Nice.
Just a little like over obnoxious like Totoro hands again.
Just reaching up to the knees, just like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Now at this point, yeah, like after learning some of these rituals and stuff, Bit has like it looks like little moonlight comes from those spirals. But every so often, not giving away what circle Bit would fully go into. What? It seems like there's little spores that come off of him for some reason.
This entity is symbiotic with whatever's going on? Question mark? Question mark?
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
One of my favorite treatments.
Oh, I forever belong to the moon. Serve the moon. That's me dropping to a knee for the moon.
Visual gag.
My queen.
So what are these rolls?
I would like to specify that if somebody is trying to insight check me to discern my intentions, they have disadvantage.
Good to know.
Just in case that's relevant. But I got a 22.
Nice.
Don't
I'm gonna be real. I rolled like shit on the die, but then I used an inspo and that was a natural 1. So fuck me, I guess.
Do you want it to be an 11 on the die instead?
That would only make it a 23.
All right, never mind. Cool.
Do you still have the D? Did you added the D4 already?
I added the D4.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, I got a 4 on the guidance, so thank you for that.
Hey, anytime.
Well, I rolled a 7.
14.
And Margaret?
27.
Damn.
Nice. Carrying the team.
Also,
Yeah,
I was
honestly.
thinking like Malice kind of likes me, so I could probably convince him to let us down there.
Nice.
I was picking up a vibe earlier.
Well,
Question.
So
You
for Maeve
you
before.
pull them across the bar. You like their vibe?
No, he liked my vibe.
Okay.
I'm just observing, perceiving.
So I'm trying to purvey a 11 on the die for Maeve. Would that be helpful for instead of what you rolled?
you could save it
Yeah.
as you could save it as a 27, 22, 14, and a 7. Have a good median as Malice rolled a 10. So Malice is like, hey, yeah, let's do this. You're all led. He says, how to be sneaky, how to be quiet and sneaky and hug the shadows.
I'm so glad we could talk to you in our thoughts.
Right? So great. Okay, let's go. I found out some information. I know where the entrance is. This goes. He's leading you further down into the corridors and hallways until eventually you get to a average sized door. This one, much like the front entrance, has these stone pillars next to it. However, you do not see the Orchid Queen statues at this door. You hear the ka-doom as it opens. There in front of you is an open room with a very open pit in the center of it. This is pretty underwhelming.
Well,
No, it leads to the Underdark.
underwear.
Malice takes a step inside and keeps walking towards this pit.
I'll follow in.
As you get
Following.
closer to the edge of the pit, he kind of just like kicks a rock and it goes doom, 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 doom. As you can hear the rock slowly go down. and hitting the walls. What she thinks down there?
The Underdark. That's obvious. Well, we can try to figure out in a fun way. I am going to try to find if I have something that's flammable on my person, and I'm gonna like maybe like a candle wick that I don't think I actually have a candle on my person. Does anybody have a little like
I hand over one of the 5 candles I have in my backpack.
lovely? I'm going to press digitation, do light snuff the candle reverse so it's lit. Now I'm gonna start to pull away some of the wax, and so you have the candle wax on the wick. We'll be able to burn that way. Hopefully it burns a little bit quicker, and I'm going to drop it in the hole, just to watch and see how far I can see it go.
It goes and it goes and it goes until eventually the light itself. You wait to listen for it to hit the bottom. Nothing. Yes, Morgan. Or Jane. Whoever's asking.
If I we all have dark vision, I'm pretty sure.
Up to a certain length, yeah.
Up to a certain
Well-
length. So does Spidey Woman have dark vision?
If you're looking through the eyes of Spidey Woman, yes.
She's still alive, and she has not been squished yet this entire campaign. So I'm gonna just take her off my shoulder and just send her on down and go into my trance and watch what she sees.
Can
Oh,
you see what
Do you
I
want
see?
Spidey?
He turns to Astrophel.
Wow. Wow. 2 weeks
Sorry,
and you've already forgotten my name.
I know. It's because all of these lunches I've been eating by myself. Turns to
Can you make the bird appear? If you take Spidey one with the bird, because I've been practicing with Maeve, because I realized it's not a druid thing, but like I can see through animal eyes if I touch them. I can do that, and I can just sit down and keep doing that. So I could look through the bird, and then Moore could look through the spider. So it's like a team.
I play a sad song on my flute and the bird appears.
It just kind of like gently puts their hands out, like a little cup kind of thing. And then Bit says something softly in Druidic and puts their forehead to the bird's forehead. And Bit's eyes glow, and as does the bird. And similar, those spirals that are on Bit transfer to the bird briefly, and then they shimmer. And then I can use beast sense. So I can also talk to animals, which I've never done as a barbarian. Bit's gonna kind of let the bird do its thing, but now I can see and hear what the bird sees and hears. But I can't see and hear anything currently where I am. Just because Bit can see illusions and weird things too, so just in case.
As Spidey Woman, and could you remind me what your bird's name is one more time?
Corsalix.
Corsalix. As Corsalix and Spidey Woman head down with Bit and Morgrid viewing through the eyes, it's almost into like a peregrine falcon kind of dive into this hole as it keeps going further and further down before Bit and Morgrid. Can you roll me a wisdom save?
Oh. Is no an option?
As the two of you start to begin to hear
Unnatural 20.
12.
Bit. Before you, you see this that I've just sent into Voiceless. It is a massive island-sized hole in the ground. Emerging from it are eldritch tentacles, a maw, lightning, and most notably, you see active souls circling around this maw. Morgrid, you are completely cut off from Spidey Woman. As you come to, you are taking a level of madness. I will get to you in a second on that.
It just starts is describing what they see through the bird's eyes. Yeah, I think Bit's very literal in their description. Because if Bit isn't sensing, not the danger, because I think this looks dangerous to Bit, but I think Bit isn't putting two and two together how scary this is, specifically with, Mother Kadir's a little scarier. So yeah, Bit's just kind of describing it out loud with just kind of like a vacant expression on his face.
Morgrid, can you roll me a D100, please?
Oh God.
Y'all, I'm suddenly very concerned.
Yeah, me too.
30.
30. Morgrid, you become frightened and must use your action and movement for 6 minutes to flee from the source of your fear.
So I am screaming uncontrollably and trying to get away and get out of this room, or
As far away as you can in 6 minutes.
so I just start booking it out of the place, basically.
Yeah.
The moment
I'm gonna give you this. As far as madness tables go, that's a pretty tame one you got. So
Yeah, definitely. I think the party got very lucky there too.
I'm gonna as I think Bit is explaining what he's seeing. I'm gonna say, yeah, no, we're actually gonna go this way. I'm going, and I go and run after Morgrid.
Bit can't hear that.
No.
Yeah, it's like Find Familiar. When I use my beast sense, I can't tell what's around me or happening.
Oh shit.
how close is Corsalix getting to this?
I mean, the aim was to see how deep the hole is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we've established how deep the hole is.
You're roughly looking at a little more than a mile deep. However, in seeing what is at the base of the hole, the whole cavernous area is lit up. It's roughly the size of the entire island you are currently on underneath. This, whatever this is massive.
We're on cave ground, right? Like what we're sitting on, and then there's the hole.
Correct.
Bit places their hand, even though they can't see, between their fingertips. These small roots start to dig into the ground, and then slowly a group of weeds and vines start to sprout. It's not very big, but it's this purple thing, and Bit tries to recreate this out of plant pods and things like that, of essentially what they're seeing, just to show. And that just extends from Bit's hand. This Bit's just still just kind of vacantly
I need you to roll me one more wisdom save.
Okay.
As Corsalix begins to rise back up.
That's another unnatural 20. That's a 17 plus 3.
You are able to maintain. However, even though you're maintaining your sanity at the moment, it is very overwhelming with the whispers constantly going in through your head. It's just all you can hear is just the
Is these whispers, is this just like an awful sound, or is there something comprehensible in the language of what this is?
You can attempt an intelligence roll to see if you can decipher. I'm gonna let you know now the DC is very high on this.
You know what? I'll give it a go. It's not the smartest cookie round, but I do have something on my side. It is the fact that I don't have the Bloodwell talent tree, and I have quite a few of a little something back in my back pocket. Okay, so with -2 now, just flat intelligence. Oh wait, I don't think I have anything. Yeah, I don't even have nature. I thought maybe I had nature or something. Okay, so that is a 15. Thank you, 17s. I'm gonna use 10 inspo on this.
Okay. With the 10 inspirations, it's not one language being spoken. It is all the languages being spoken. Some are more muffled than others. However, you might hear an occasional it doesn't make sense. It's almost gibberish what you're hearing, and it's incessant in the way that it's being said, and you can't really pick out individual words. However, whatever is speaking is doing it in a very eldritch way.
I think from that plant that started to form, it's now Bit has like both hands planted, and like around him these purple vines are starting to sprout out, and like the whatever words, letters, symbols, and things that Bit is hearing are starting to grow like a creeping cluster thing overlapping, and y'all seen like, you know, War of the Worlds, that kind of like those like horrible vine things. I think that's stemming from Bit's hands right now, as Bit is just like kind of looking. I looked in the void, and the void looked back at me. But yeah, Bit's just making that appear as Bit's hearing all this. Thank you.
I'm gonna, you know what? I usually let viewers give this. I would like to give an inspiration to the entire cast on this, and the reasoning behind that is I am very impressed with all of you at the moment, and I will tell you later why. But inspos for everyone. As Corsolix emerges out from the hole, your vision comes back to you out of the beast sense bit. Ryuss has run off with Morgrid, and we're actually going to go to the two of them real quick, and then we'll be back with the other three. Morgrid, it's been about 6 minutes, and this haze that was over your mind, causing you this great fear, has subsided. And as you turn around, Ryuss is there with you.
Spidey woman, is she still down there?
I understand your concern. I understand your concern for Spidey Woman very much. What just happened?
I don't even know. I saw something. It was massive. And I heard whispers, and I don't know. I've never been that frightened of anything in my life. All I knew was to run. I forgot that I was seeing through Spidey Woman. I thought that I was down there myself. None of it makes sense. Why am I out here?
Well, I don't have... I'm going to start to hush myself a little bit because I don't... where exactly did we run? Are we now
You
like
are
in
back
just an open
in
corridor?
Yeah, you're in an open corridor Open corridor.
Okay.
There we go.
Corn door.
Corridor.
You're in the corn door.
You're in that corn door now.
You got the
I'll-
corn
I'll
dogs
try
in the
to-
corn door.
I tried to go to Mordor and I found myself a corn door. And here I'm throwing this onion ring into Mount Yum. Mount Yum. So I start to hush myself. And I say, I couldn't see a thing. I heard what Bit was saying in moments of just explaining as Bit does, and then you booked it. You're breathing heavy, and here you are now. I am under the impression that you were thankfully magically frightened. Understandably, if you were legitimately outside of magic frightened, but the compelling to run away for... my timer was going, it was 6 minutes exactly. Very impressive. I don't have that much stamina. I'm surprised I kept up.
I've been running in circles around the moon forge.
They played this song over the intercom. It sounded like they said, and now playing the Benny Hill theme. And a new listener request. We have the Benny Hill theme. This plays again. Our goal to get down to the Underdark from here is not feasible. I don't think so, at least. I don't want to go into that hole. I was going to suggest we all jump in and fly down before surveilling anything, and fucking glad we didn't.
Yeah.
We should meet back up with the team. We should meet back up with everybody. If you have a moment that you can recall Spidey Woman yourself, I don't know how that works. But get back. Everyone should be coming back up. That is not a place. If that was able to do that to you from whatever distance, it could be miles down before. I don't know how long it is to the ground. Caution and expedition, I guess. It's not the word I'm thinking of that I want to say, but it implies the right quickness. We need to be quick. And I'm gonna turn and start to move. Let's go.
I follow.
As you're heading back, Bit, you're coming out of the trance as Corsalix and Spidey Woman are emerging out of the hole. You sit there with Astrophel, Maeve, and Malice.
At this point, the vines are still growing. Like, Bit's hands haven't left the ground. The vines are just extending around the room, just like writing those words or whatever was comprehensible. It is just like lots of chicken scratch and whatnot. And Bit is just kind of like doesn't look afraid per se, but Bit just looks very determined. Like there is, I think, because like, and pardon me if I'm wrong, these whispers and stuff, like, did they feel like an invasion on the mind? Like when I was starting to feel, I think there's a little bit of anger then knowing that feeling, because Bit is a little too accustomed to that of people poking around in his head when they shouldn't. And I think having this physical, like, nest thing of like what this thing said, Bit is just like sprawling it around the room, and is kind of disassociating a little bit.
I think with Corsalix coming back, Astrophel is kind of like just kind of tending to them and is taking Spidey Woman on the other shoulder, and it's like, I don't really know how to pet a spider, but I figure you've had a bad day, so gentle screeches, I guess. Sure. This is weird for me. Is this weird for you? This is weird for me too. Yeah,
You just see the little feelers just.
We're just gonna sit in this weirdness, hey? Yeah, okay.
I think Maeve, she's gonna probably recognize a trauma response like that since she's been dealing with that also. So I think she's just gonna try and comfort Bit for a little while. Try to coax him out of his dissociation.
I think, yeah, it doesn't take super duper long. Bit's ears kind of flick and just like kind of snaps out of it. It's like sees that like at this point I think like because Bit is he's little but he's still very strong. Has his like thumbs like dug into the soil, or not the soil, like the bedrock, and just like kind of pulls his hands out, and then I think it just like kind of like leans into Maeve.
Well, Maeve is hugging him.
Whatever's down there, it had a lot to say, but I couldn't understand a lot of it. And it's big. I think there's souls around it. And is that what the Underdark is like?
So Maeve speaks Undercommon. I don't have it in a backstory or anything, but has she ever been to the Underdark?
Let me phrase it to you this way. If Maeve has gone to the Underdark, why would have Maeve gone to the Underdark?
Well, if you want me to build a backstory for this, I can do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you know what?
What general appeals does the Underdark have in general, like for any like adventurers, for vampires, for druids? Is there anything in particular that would be that you know of off the top of your head that would be
Yeah.
be a big allure?
Yeah, absolutely. There are tons of stuff. So for adventurers in particular, it's a treasure trove of untapped like natural minerals, precious stones, things like that. If you're looking for like treasure hunting, absolutely go down there. Also for adventurers, there are some pretty wicked things down in the Underdark, and there's tales of, you know, these great adventurers who have gone down there and vanquished something crazy and came back up and survived it. There's whole cities and colonies, and may have been told that not everything in the Underdark is inherently evil, but the place itself is, it's like it's almost as if it's like the Shadowfell. In a way, it's a grimmer look on the above ground world. So magics and things like that are amplified down in the Underdark, where you might have ley lines up top. The ley lines are much more intensified underneath the earth as well. There are druid groves down in the Underdark. There are, you know, there are plethora of reasons people would want to go down there.
So, I need to like fully, think that through.
No worries.
But I have some ideas.
Okay.
So I would like to say that Maeve has been in the Underdark.
Perfect. And we can chat about that after stream as well.
Okay, cool.
But for context of the conversation between you and Bit, yes, Maeve has been to the Underdark. Okay,
so does Maeve know that is or is not part of the Underdark?
Just a general feeling. Just a general feeling that very well could be something in the Underdark.
Okay. I can't say for sure because I didn't go down and I didn't see all of that, but it does sound like it could have been the Underdark, but that's not all the Underdark is.
I don't think I like that part of the Underdark.
Yeah, there's some parts that I don't like too.
It tried to get in my head. It really tried to get in my head.
Maeve's gonna give him a wet willy and be like, "What, like this?"
The second that happens, with the other thing that's annoying that Bit can do, the wet willy comes out of Bit's ear, and I use shape water, and then it tries to, this little water whip chases Maeve down to try to do the same thing.
No, more like this!
And this is when the Benny Hill theme started to play.
It'd be about this time where Morgred and Ryuss return back to the group. You two just see Maeve getting chased by this like loogie
Like
in
this
the air.
tiny little.
I was gonna say it's a very niche reference, but if anybody's read the TF2 comics, when Scout and Spire walked in, they're fighting, and there's just like the one hand's like this, and then the other one's like squeezing their face, and they're just like kind of wrestling, but not. Is that as we both just like turn, look at them entering the room. Water splashes on the ground.
When we walk in, we see Maeve like actively running and Bit running after her.
Yeah.
So Morgred walks in and sees this and goes, "Oh shit, it got Maeve too!" And she goes and like tackles Maeve so that Maeve doesn't run off.
I assume at this point when Maeve gets tackled is when the wet willy finally makes it into the ear.
Yes! Vindication!
Maybe
That's
They're
just
fine, by the way. So am I.
Astral has
God
managed to
damn it,
light another
Margaret!
cigarette. It's fine.
Why'd you do that? Now he got me back.
Hi,
She's like
what?
trying
I
to
thought
like clean out her ear.
Sorry, you were aware that you were running around?
Yeah, I was running away from him.
Totally.
Magic
misread
wet
the
willies.
situation.
I started it.
I was about to say, I'm glad things are actually normal for the moment, and I'm glad that you actually were able to think past, maybe that isn't normal. Because I don't think that was normal, but now that I'm thinking about it, how did you move the water? What?
Oh, I can do this.
And Bit puts his hands out, and 2 beads of water start spinning around.
Visual gag.
Avatar gag.
Absolutely. Oh my god, if at some point I can float on a water ball and hit a wall full speed, Bit's doing that. Bit does kind of like after a moment of like kind of things like turning normal, like shakes his head to get the rest of the water out. And then scrambles up Astrofel to get into the Bjorn. Just like but then is he's sitting in it Yoda style, so he's on Astrofel, like looking over Astrofel's shoulder this time. But then kind of points out,
I don't know what those things say, but I tried to make the words. It was talking in my head, whatever's down there. And it looks like the big tentacly thing, and it's got souls and stuff. But yeah, tried to make the words in the vines. But there's lots of like, in my head. Weird.
Could you make out anything that was being said? I know you said there's a lot of it, but was there anything that you were able to piece out?
The thing
It
you
was
could
like-
take away from it would be that there were multiple languages being spoken at one time. Some of them were overlapping on like what was being said in different languages.
It was like hearing like so when we were in that one town and we went into the bar, when there was a couple people talking like and stuff, like all the different like languages people just were kind of talking. It wasn't as much in the bar, but it was like as if it was like all sorts of different ones. Like I couldn't make them all out, and I tried to do my best, but I couldn't really hear any words or anything. It just sounded like and other stuff. But
You did.
it
You
was
did
trying to
great.
mess with me. Thanks.
I am doing yo-yo tricks, but the yo-yo is Spidey Woman. We're doing like flips and shit.
Oh, so glad that she is safe. Come here, Spidey woman.
Yeah,
Spidey
she
Woman
just
crawls up.
wee.
Swings on over.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I'm just that webs covered in my hands, just like this was an unforeseen side effect.
Astrophel, Malice is doing this.
Yes, your permission.
We should get out of here before. Before you see Lafkin standing at the doorway. And this is where we are going to end for tonight. We'll be back in 2 weeks with our regular episodes. However, next week, we actually got a little something special. From what I understand, it's an Asterfell Valentine's Day special. So make sure to tune in next week. And it won't obviously be on Valentine's Day, or will it? You'll have to come check out our Discord and find out. The link's right there. Also, shout out to Verity. Thank you so much. And if you want to come check out our Patreon so you can see the latest render on the map for the Underdark, well, come check it out. And also, we love you all so much. Mwah! And so until whenever we come back, we'll see you. One day I will be good at sign-offs.
No.
Out the window we go!
Goodbye!